Hi, I'm Jessica Rudnicki with Reynolds Reynolds. Welcome back to Connected. Today I'm talking to Carl Bennett, Director of Reynolds Consulting Services, about using videos to provide the best customer experience during this time of social distancing. Let's get connected. Hi, Carl. Thanks so much for being here today.
Hey, glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
We're definitely glad you're here. As states continue to enforce social distancing requirements, it's becoming challenging for a lot of dealerships to provide customers with that traditional sales experience. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about ways to continue providing a high quality customer experience, but from that safe distance. So what are some of the ways dealerships can do that?
Today moving away from traditional face-to-face interactions can definitely be challenging for dealerships. The experience that the way they treat customers is totally different, and the way you're going to treat customers moving forward is definitely going to be your competitive advantage. You have to get creative. You've got to be, because you're in a remote environment. And one of the things we've seen in a lot of dealerships that have been successful with moving towards a remote environment is creating a video has become their way to communicate with customers, both for in person and maintaining control over the customer experience as a whole.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So when I think of videos, I can picture someone from sales like sending a video to a prospective buyer. But what about in the service drive? What sort of videos can dealerships create in the service drive for customers?
Well, one of the big interactions that's required today from most manufacturers is what's called the first introduction to the service department from the sale at point of sale. And if you can't get a customer to walk through your service drive, you need to go ahead and have something that they can see. Quick video of a service advisor with their introduction of themselves, showing their face. It gets a face associated with a name right off the bat. The service advisor can kind of walk the customer through the process for getting rentals, loaners, if they offer a pickup system or do they do delivery. They can also show them where the service drive would be, how to enter the service drive, a little bit about the way the process, write-up process may take place. If they offer a valet service, talk to them about that. And just different ways to schedule appointments online, things like that. So that way the customer feels it's a more personal touch and you don't have to be sitting in the dealership to understand what's happening.
Yeah, absolutely. So why is it important to provide that information to a customer, especially during this time when, a lot of them are maybe uncomfortable to come in, but they still want to know maybe what your hours are or what services you're providing or specials and things like that. Why is that important?
Well, so the customer feels more at ease. A lot of customers today are concerned with going into a dealership or any business for that matter, not necessarily a dealership, but knowing the fact that you take care of the consumer, the way you clean your facility or practice cleanliness, your processes just puts them more at ease versus having to drive to somewhere down the road that you don't know what's going to happen when you walk in the door. The more at ease you put a person, the more apt they are to want to do business with you.
Sure. Yeah, I agree. Carl, in addition to sending welcome videos to prospective buyers, like on the sales side, what are some additional things that both sales and finance departments can do through video creation for their customers?
Well, a lot of the things they want to touch on are the process itself. Here's what's going to happen when you're in the store, or here's what's going to happen online if you choose to purchase in that way. And a lot of customers want to know, can I take care of a lot of things up front, such as can I send in a credit application ahead of time? Can I give you some of my paperwork ahead of time? I don't want to have to go through waiting 4 hours when I get to your store. I've already selected to buy a vehicle. I know which one I want. I've given you the number. We've negotiated numbers online, everything else. What more can I do to complete the sales process to speed up time? I have a personal experience that I just went through where I was able to fill out my credit application online, send in a copy of my driver's license, my insurance card, and all the other documentation they needed to complete the sale. I literally walked into the dealership, signed all my paperwork, had delivery of my vehicle, and I was complete within 30 minutes. The fact that you can save somebody time and money, make it more comfortable for them to be able to ease the process, and that they feel you're a trusted advisor in their purchasing decision makes them want to buy a car from you more frequently and actually more apt to buy a car from you. Remember, price isn't always the reason customers want to buy a car from you.
Yeah, definitely. I'm glad you shared that story. I'm sure that definitely build more rapport with the dealership and you'll probably shop there again, right?
Yep, definitely.
Yeah, good. Um, So I actually spoke with a dealer on this podcast a few weeks ago who created this process of their sales process. Their showroom was closed at the time. So they developed this process where customers could come into their lot and they had these QR codes on their vehicles. And so it immediately grabbed my attention seeing this video. I'm like, wow, that's a great way to keep customers updated while their showroom was
Mhm.
closed. So, are there any other videos dealerships could create to enhance their customers' virtual experience in this kind of way?
Definitely a couple of them that come to mind right off the bat. Consumers every year, there's 2 times a year when dealerships get tons of phone calls into their sales department, and it's whenever we change our times. Just a quick video of every car that you have showing how to set a clock that you could send to somebody immediately through a reminder. And that alone, the day, if you set up a system to where it would automatically send to that customer the day of time change, they can get that video, know where to do it, and they're appreciative because now they're not trying to struggle how to change the clock. Another good example of a video that would be out there is for a lot of OEMs and manufacturers have applications you can put on your phone now, walking a customer through how to download it onto their phone, how to set up whatever's required for it, and the things it can do. Just a quick little talk video. It makes their life so much easier and more simple that they will appreciate it again. The more you do, just to make their life easier and not have to be in front of somebody to do this, it's going to make it a better opportunity for the dealership as a whole.
Yeah, I bought a vehicle about a year ago, and once I got the car, I didn't know how to set up the Bluetooth. So it definitely would have
hmm
been helpful to have a video explaining to me how to do that. So great tips.
Yeah, a
Um,
lot of dealerships actually hand you a CD-ROM and say, "Here's the thing. Here's how you do it," and you're like, "Okay, I don't have a CD player anymore." So it's
yeah, exactly, exactly. Well, thank you for sharing those tips. And Carl, thank you so much for being here. Before we hop off, is there anything else that you'd like to add or any other best practices you want to share?
a couple things real quick. Just keep in mind your videos need to be informative, but they need to be concise. 2 to 3 minutes max is all you're going to be able to keep somebody's attention level for, and get them in a form that's easily able to be emailed or texted even with a quick link. So it's got to be in somewhere where the customers can find it with a fast link, and it needs to be able to be played on or on a cell phone.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Especially with people using mobile devices and cell phones. Pretty much everyone has one nowadays. So good advice. Thanks again for joining us today and thanks for sharing your tips.
Appreciate you having me with it, and good luck to everyone out there.
Great tips from Carl on enhancing a customer's virtual experience. Before we hop off, just a quick reminder you can watch or listen to past and future podcast episodes on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify Podcasts by searching for the Connected Podcast. Subscribe on these channels to get notified every Wednesday when new episodes are released. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.